better than Gun. I would love to be taught by Mrs. Funk.
Oh,
I had two, and I'm trying to remember what their names are because I had somebody became Mrs. Crane became Mrs. Horahan, or Miss Crane became Mrs. Horahan, and who was the other one? Mrs. Baresta.
did it weird you out though when it changed?
No, this was high school. Like I
Okay.
was
You knew
I was
about it.
basically an adult at that point. Really didn't make a difference.
You let Mrs. Horahan get away with that name?
Well, she wasn't my teacher. She was.
You whoring again, Mrs. Horahan?
I actually, when I would see her, I'd say, "You going to lunch, Mrs. Horahan?" But it didn't work. And she'd be like, "Well, yes, I am. I have a sandwich. Why?"
Your wife should say her last name is Guns.
Gun-
That'll
yeah.
change their outlook on
That's
everything.
true.
Isn't that what your brother? That's what your brother does already.
Her brother's ashamed.
So we're having some complaints in the chat room that we work in a cave. They're having trouble seeing us, and I was wondering why we're not turning the lights on in here.
Because I
Look at us.
As much as I'd like to be cooked by the end of the show, I'd rather not.
It's really hot. You can't turn it
It's
on
ridiculously
a little
hot.
His head is literally about 7 inches from the halogen bulb. If you want to put it on and put on the air conditioning blasting hot, it's the only thing I could recommend.
Okay.
It's
Do you people have TVs or?
There's lots of pregame shows that you could be watching right now.
No, it's cool. Let's watch the fat bald guy burn. It's fine.
Let's watch the fat pale guy turn into the fat red guy as the show goes on.
Oh man.
Awesome. So yeah, teachers and school and tipping. I don't know what to say. By the way, you listen to Best in Show, bestinshowradio.com, exclusively on TPX Radio, where we got a new chat room. I hope you guys don't hate it. It's Ustream. Unfortunately, you can't see Keith anymore because we can't have two cameras in the room because this new inferior product is a piece of garbage, and I hate it. I wish everyone would move over to Pal Talk.
I can't get any kind of chat. Was the last comment in the chat room LOL?
That actually means
usually.
that means laugh.
Actually, no. Sam Hain in the chat room says that he misses Keith.
It's pronounced Sowen, bro.
I'm sorry.
All right, now I see that. Okay, I'm on a little bit of a lag.
I'm sorry. I'm enthralled.
Radio.
I went to see Ween play last night.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Details.
Yeah. It was a big rock show, and I realized that I hate them. Not the band, exactly, but big rock shows at all. I hate it.
How long did they play?
2.5 hours, which was short, I thought.
I think they play longer usually.
For
right?
Ween, yeah. But
They like to boss it up sometimes.
Yeah, 20-minute drum solo.
Oh no.
That sounds
Yes.
great.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
That sounds great.
And I know you had the watch out, so I'm not even going to question if that's an estimate.
Yeah, I timed the whole thing.
What do you hate most about the rock shows, Vanessa?
The people at the rock shows would be the thing that I hate.
I gotta go back for a second here. I'm sorry, I was answering an instant message at that point. This was during Ween itself that there was a 20-minute drum solo, or their opening act?
There was no opening act, which I was very thankful for because
Why would there be a 20-minute drum solo during Ween?
Why
for the
wouldn't there be?
same reason that they do a 25-minute version of Poop Ship Destroyer.
But that's at least a song of theirs. Like, Dean or Gene doesn't play drums in that band. Why would there be a drum solo for 20 minutes?
They got this black guy.
Oh, okay. Affirmative action, I understand.
Yeah.
And what do they do for those 20 minutes? Are they just chilling? They're just drinking
Honestly,
beers? What do they do?
no,
Smoking a cigarette?
They all turn towards him with respect.
Uh-huh.
And every once in a while you think it's going to end because he goes really crazy, like a drum solo is kind of like ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba, and then all of a sudden it's like ba-da-ba-da-ba. And so you think you're building the crescendo, and so then they get kind of like they're like bouncing a little bit, and then it dies down and the crowd applauds, and then he breaks into another one.
And as it stops, it goes...
Exactly.
It'd be great if they put on like iPods, started listening, didn't even pay attention to the drum solo.
I saw Ween at... what the hell was the name of the place?
Did the crowd go incredibly over the top and faking their enthusiasm for the drum solo when it was over?
Absolutely.
A pity clap.
I would take a 20-minute guitar solo in the middle of Buckingham Green, maybe, if I saw Ween.
See, but a guitar solo, like you understand, it would be one of them doing it. You know, like the fact that it's an other guy in the band that's like has a 20-minute solo doesn't make sense.
And I'm not a guitar solo fan at all, but in that song,
What are you talking about? You have a Steve Vai tattoo on your stomach. What are you talking about? I'm trying to think where I saw them. I can't remember the name of the place that I saw them at, but it was a couple of years ago. I keep saying Champs in my head, but it wasn't called Champs. Whatever, it's irrelevant where it was. But this was my favorite thing was it was such a packed show that you had to fight to get all the way up to the front. And then once I was relatively close to that front, I realized that I'd been drinking a lot of beer and had to go to the bathroom awful. And then the thoughts went through my head. It was like, crap, I got to go all the way back to the bathroom and fight my way back up here again. No,
I'm peeing right here.
Why would I bother with that? So that's my favorite Ween show memory is the fact that I didn't go any place to go to the bathroom. I just stood right there.
Well, you held it in, or you went?
No, I peed all over myself.
In your pantaloons?
In my pantaloons. I just stood there and peed on myself.
Animal. You're an animal.
You are gross.
I was young. I may have.
Were you 3?
Yeah.
I may have been. My senses may have been a little impaired from things other than beer. I was a mess.
You ruined your My Little Pony underwear, probably.
I know.
God. And no one smelled you? No one touched you?
Of course they smelled
I'm
it.
sure they did, but it was. I mean, like it was a sweaty group of guys just all piled up against each other.
You know what the worst thing in the world
You know,
is?
remind you it was a Ween show.
The worst thing in the world for the people around you is to realize that there's piss on your pants and that you didn't do it.
Well, I didn't actually, take my friend out and start spraying about and around. It just went down my legs, like it was on me.
But
literally.
people were bumping into you and stuff, right? You had to be bumped into.
Sexy.
I mean, it was Ween. It wasn't like it was a mosh
Yeah,
pit or
it's
anything. It was. I'm sure they smelt it. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, it's up.
You didn't crowd surf during Bananas and Blow? No crowd surfing for you?
This is pre-Bananas and Blow. This is a long time ago.
Song-wise or you-wise?
No, just song-wise. I'm trying to think. What the hell's the name of the place? I keep thinking like Buddies or Champs.
Tramps?
Tramps, I think, might be the name of the place.
It was a small little
place.
venue.
Yes.
Tramps,
I saw Son of
Was Tramps that far of a fight to the bathroom?
when there's a crowd of people around.
There is, because you got to go through a bar, right?
I was
You
thinking
gotta
more
go
like Roseland or something.
Are you
No,
sure
it wasn't a huge place like that. No,
go
it
past
was
the
Tramps.
Are you sure it wasn't the sporting goods store, Champs?
Yes,
They played
yes,
there?
actually, it was. It was.
Models.
They were playing over by the Nikes, and I got to go all the way to the Reeboks to go to the bathroom. Forget that. I'm trying to think who else I saw that. I also saw Son of Eve do their what do you call it, like when you're doing like a thing for record companies?
Jerks.
I think that was it. They were doing their jerks for record. No, it's like when they're showing their wares and seeing if they'll get signed.
Whoa.
an audition.
Yeah, but it wasn't quite an
Yeah.
audition. Like there was a bunch of record
CMJ.
company people there. It wasn't that though, because it wasn't open. That was the thing. Like you had to be invited because there was only record company people and like friends of the bands that were there.
I think they call it internet radio.
No, nowhere near that. There were way more listeners. At least like 7 people.
And you did the same thing there at the Son of Eve with no one there?
Well, see, that was the only other time I was at the place. There were chairs then. People were sitting at tables. It was so nice.
Oh, it was classy that time.
Yeah, I was able to walk to the bathroom.
Was there a balcony?
No, there was no balcony. There was a little step up from like the little dance floor area where people could stand, which was where the bar was.
Those guys played too. At least most of the room got the joke because no one else in the world's.
Paulie Shalder is sitting at home right now, slapping his knees, saying, "Oh, you got me, guys! You got me." Oh wait, that's right. He doesn't listen.
He might actually.
I actually bumped into him at the supermarket. And he's like, "Wow, you guys really doing an internet radio show? It's great. I got to come in and you guys do music at all? Come in and play and do stuff." I was like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." I haven't seen him since. That was like that was like 2 years ago. That was the 3rd day of the show.
Well, if he invites us to his next Tramps gig, maybe.
Awesome. So, trying to think. What
Yep.
the last great.
I can't do rock shows anymore just because of the crowds. I
Oh,
can't be in crowds anymore.
It's
I can't.
awful.
I can't do it. Me too. It's bad.
I've been to all different kinds of shows, and what I realize is that the same people are there, no matter what show you go to. Like, I mean, everything from
The stereotypes or the actual people?
the stereotypes, like
Hey, Chip.
like the
Shit.
like the inappropriately friendly touching guy, that stands next to you and like
That you know, or that you
no, that you don't know.
Hippie.
and he's inappropriately touching you or
Yeah,
someone that he
yeah.
knows.
This may be a girl
I get that at
thing that
church.
they do to girls.
That's
I
act-
had one last night though that was you're standing there and then he wants to help you, like, oh, you could scoot over a little bit, so he has to put his hand on your lower
on your
back
waist.
to, like, you know, to guide you. Yeah, inappropriately friendly touching guy.
Hey,
and
wait! Oh no, you're going to the bathroom? Yeah, let me wipe that for you. Don't